Welcome and join us for our daily Musar segment. And I'm not quite sure how to go about it, but I was recently faced with a phenomenon that was really interesting. You know, I noticed something. Sometimes you refer to a person and says, what are you? He says, well, what do you do? I'm a lawyer, I'm an accountant, I'm a doctor, I'm a painter, I'm a photographer, I'm a freelance photographer, I'm an artist. And you take a certain pride in that. And you ask a person, where are you from? I say, oh, I'm from LA. Oh, I'm from New York. I'm from England. With pride. But then to the same person who would feel very proud of himself and what he does, if you unintentionally dare to ask him, are you Jewish, right? I would say, yeah, I am, but why it doesn't make any difference, usually. It's a sense of, Sam, the door. There's a sense of being kind of apologetic about it, like, yeah. There's no sense of pride. The person will not say, I'm a Jew. You never hear, I'm a Jew and I'm proud. If you're going to go to argument's sake, to a Navy guy, a soldier from the Navy, and he says, oh, you served in the Army? He said, no, the Navy. He'll correct you right away. If you go and you said to a Marine, are you from the Army? No, Marines, man, I'm Marines. Very proud of the fact of what I belong to. There's a sense of real pride in the fact that I'm a Marine, or I'm Navy, or I'm this, or I'm that, or I'm an American, or I'm British, or I'm a lawyer, I'm a doctor. But there isn't real pride of the fact, and we somewhat tend to, and we many times, or rightfully so for whatever we had to go through the years as Jews. Nobody likes Jews. But sometimes I really feel maybe they don't really like us, among many other reasons, is because we're not really proud of who we are. Do we really respect our heritage? Do we really respect what we represent? Can somebody be an ambassador of a country that he's not to be proud being a part of? That is very hard for others, or hard for us to demand respect from others when we don't really respect who we are and what we represent. But I think one of the greatest or the saddest things about it is the loss that occurs because of that. First of all, in our culture, there are nations who will go and would invent themselves historically, or groups of people that would relate themselves to, to the pharaohs in Africa. They would relate themselves to, King David. They really had nothing to do with it. They would relate themselves to ancient tribes that for thousands of years have been gone from the world. Why? Because you need roots to grow. So these people, or this group of people, graft themselves into a group, into some kind of roots, even though it's not here, just to say, I need to grow and I need roots. A tree does not grow without roots in the air. You need something to connect you to the ground. In order to strive high, you need roots. And there are winds in the world. And the roots, they need to be not only wide, they need to be deep. And big trees that have a complicated root system that is wide and deep, even in the strongest wind, will stand. If not, you'll see. You saw what happens in the storm, one after the other. Either the roots were too deep or too shallow and wide. They were unrooted. Massive trees. This is unbelievable. I mean, I remember right after the storm, walking, there were trees that the root system was like, I don't know, 8 feet. They were taller than me like this. They were huge. But it wasn't deep. We saw that they were shallow. So are people. We need roots. How do you think that we're going to exist the next 1,000 years? Not only if we don't have roots, because we have roots, if we disconnect ourselves from our roots. We lose our culture. And again, there are groups who would make up their culture based on things that don't even exist, and it will even become national holidays. On holidays that, you know, the people say came from this part of the world. If you go to the people there, so we never heard of such a thing. But yet they need it. It's this need of a human being to connect himself to something greater than him. We adapt tunes, music that is foreign to us. Why didn't we keep our own? I mean, I have nothing against waltz or tango or this beat or the other beat. And it's kind of funky to have it in, you know, to put words into it. But what happened to my tune? What happened to my heritage? Why is it that I am responsible for the destruction and to the eternal loss of something that was so dear to my ancestors? Why is it in my generation? Why is it under my watch? Well, how did I allow this to happen? How? Very simple. I guess it really didn't make such a difference to me. I wasn't really proud in that. If I would tell you, this is what we were talking the other day. Let's say, for example, you need to go, you're in the military, and you want to get your own beret, a special hat that you wear, or a special badge that you have. You want to do that? Good. 80 kilometers for get your special, you know, your red hat, your red beret. You want to get your insignia here of being whatever you are, 80 kilometers, but this time with stretchers on your back. You got to work for it. We give a tefillin to our boy, it's nothing. He doesn't have to do anything for it. So he doesn't treat it. But the problem doesn't start with the kid, the problem starts with us. The father can go and buy a $1,000 suit, and in front of his son, everybody will say, look, my new suit, $1,000 will pay for this. Be'ezrat Hashem, God willing, next time, I'll buy the better one. I have a better one, I couldn't afford this time, next year I'll buy it. But what? What does your son hear? Your son hears when you go to buy him tefillin, how you bargain with the sofer. It tells you, listen, you can buy, it's a decent tefillin, it's pretty good, $500. $500 for what? It's wood. It's wood. It's leather. $500 for this. Give me something, it's a tefillin. Get me something for $250. What is the message you just gave your son? That your suit is more important than his tefillin. And you expect him to put tefillin and to care about him when you were bargaining it down? If the guy told you 500, you say 500? No, I want what's better than that? How are you going to give this importance to your son to do it? How do you want your son to care about the etrog when he hears you saying, etrogim, $35 for an etrog? What is it? An updated lemon? I don't want to spend. How much does it cost? Maybe $5 it should cost for an etrog. I don't understand. Why did they charge me $35 for that? What do you think happens at that moment? Your son hears that and he's saying, I'm being ripped being a Jew. They're ripping me off. Instead of saying $35, it's a beautiful etrogim. I want more than that. The Ari HaKadosh, used to see an etrog, says to the guy, how much is that? He will tell him, say, here, take it. Not asking, not even bargaining. It's a mitzvah. And why do you do that? Because to you, it's not important. And because of that, we lost about 98% of our culture. I don't want to go in here Kedusha to the tune of Ave Maria. It's a beautiful tune, but it has nothing to do with me. I want to go as far as I can. I want to make the connection to my ancestors so I can have, I'll be the link which connect my ancestors with the future, with my children. Otherwise I have nothing to give them. What am I supposed to reinvent Judaism from the beginning? I can't do it. Do any of you know an authentic Jewish tune? Not something modern that somebody picked up. I mean, there's some good songs that people picked up. It's a new tone. It's a nice tune, but I want something older. The older I get, the older I want. I want to be able to connect. Maybe it's the fear that I have. Call it whatever you want, but I understand how important it is because I see how little could I generate out of myself. How corrupt in a way it is. It's not as pure as it was. Because it was so important to them. They kept it like they kept their eyesight. How about my Jewish clothing? Thank God we have Shabbat, or at least we have some Jewish food. We have, what's the Jewish food? Chamin. Matzah, chamin, and gefilte fish. Baruch Hashem for that. But Viennese cake does not cut it for me as a Jewish entity. Tastes good, but you know. That's what I'm talking about. And why? Because we never say, look at ourselves in the mirror and says, I'm a Jew and I'm proud. And because of that, my attitude lingers on to everything I do, including my tefillah, including everything of Avodat Hashem. I don't feel a sense of privileged that I was given to do those mitzvot. I'm privileged to do that. I'm proud of the fact that I was chosen for that. If I would say to you, listen, let's say the American armed forces, I don't know, let's say there are 1 million people in it. Out of what? Out of 300 million people, you have maybe 1 million people in the armed forces, let's say. Out of that, maybe you have, I don't know, 3,000 altogether, 1,000 Navy SEALs, or I don't know, 700 Delta Force people. How unique they feel. What pride they have in what they represent and what they do, to the point that they're willing to give their life for that. We are the same thing. Look at the percentage, it's not so far off. How many billions of people are in the world? How many of them are Jews? And how many of them, the Jews, are observant? And how many from those who are observant really do it because of a sense of a mission, not because they were born into it? And that's the problem. That's why not only we can't keep the people, we're losing what we're supposed to hand over. So I think the workout for today, the exercise for today, should be to start feeling and verbalizing the sense of pride and mission and privilege in being a Jew. And why is that? Because the first thing you should say when you open your eyes, Modeh ani lefanecha. I know, she'echzarta bi nishmati, but for what did you give my soul back? I'm thanking you, Hashem. Thank you. Thank you. You have to start your day with thank you. So let's thank Hashem first of all that He chose us, shebachar banu michol ha'amim, and He gave us Torah. Let's try to save what we have, and maybe after that we could start regenerating authentic Jewish culture. Because many of the claims of people is, I don't feel anything culture about Judaism. And there is such thing as Jewish art and Jewish music, as it would come along with that. But once you separate the Jew from the Torah, you separate the Jew from its culture. So let's try to do that. Let's try to be pride. Let's try to install this pride in people. Not to be embarrassed to say, I'm a Jew. And I'm proud of it. Don't be apologetic on the fact that you're a Jew. This, Ezrat Hashem, and Hashem's Rachamim will help us bring Am Yisrael back to its roots, Am Yisrael back to its father, Am Yisrael back to each other. Amen.